Hi friends, I'm Colonel Failure. We're opening with a shot of the sea, because that's what you really want, isn't it? No, actually we've got a split screen shot going on of the development of Farm Peninsula, as I've decided to call it in the last 2 seconds. And as you can see, you've got the before turning into the after going. It's pretty, isn't it? Yeah, it's nice. You can see all the decorating that I've done in between episodes, and it's all turned out rather splendidly as it happens. But now we move beyond what I have built into the craggy hellscape that I have not yet touched. Well, I'm going to touch it today. Yep. Well, yes, it is quite pretty. I think so too. I've done a bit of field action, as you can see. Got a field action. But I'm quite pleased with how the station's turned out, even though I'm not sure how storage is going to manifest. I think I might end up placing some scenery to represent the freight that's waiting to be picked up. I've got the inevitable wagon yard going on here, a couple of locos parked up just in case we need them, a couple of extra trucks down there. But as we discussed last time, we're going to zip down here, whip round the end and come the other way. Because one of the reasons that I'm losing money overall, ignore the fact that I'm down $250 million at the moment, that's because I've been landscaping like a champion. Instead, I'm down about 75 million a year. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, and that's because I'm not completing full freight routes, and my larger trains have a loco at either end, which makes it very tough for them to actually generate a profit. In fact, they don't. In fact, let's look at the list, because it makes for quite scary reading. If you're thinking, I need some profit. Good luck with that. So this is the one I was talking about, the Russian train with a loco at either end. Now, it's only shipping in one direction, which doesn't help, but it's burning 13 million a year. Yeah. Coal shunt 4, that's working as intended, burning 500,000 a year, just trundling around the yard. Look at that one. It's now down to 17 in the hole. Iron bulk 1, 15 in I'm confident that I will be able to turn it around and get to the point where we break even, if not more. But we'll just have to see. There we go. I've got a bit of construction going on there. Nice asset placed as kind of a train loading yard kind of office kind of a deal kind of a thing. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with how this has turned out. And finally, you've probably noticed that I've put buses on. So I've got the commuter service running already, even though it's going to be a while before we run any kind of a big train going on. Now, someone suggested in the last episode, and I forget who it was because I always forget who it was, that I run a little kind of bus service up to the next town to catch the train. Beautiful. So I'm doing just that. So this little shuttle has quite an extensive route going on. Well, there you go. You can see it. It's very pale green. As you can see, it gets about a bit. But it's ticking off all of the kind of the major build-ups that I've got at the moment, and I'm running 10 buses on there at the moment. That will build up once they get to go somewhere. So this is the kind of the interchange bus station that I've gone for. I've gone for this kind of I guess it's a Greyhound, but it's, when would that be? Kind of 40s, 50s, maybe 30s. I mean, it's definitely 30s style architecture going on there. But yeah, so the idea is we drop the passengers off. They can then hop on a Greyhound up to the next town, which is this way. So the bus route's going to lead out down here, hack it across next to this farm, and then we've got a little roundabout going on there, and we zip off this way. Now, I have pre-flattened. I'm going to put a huge in here and a train station to link up to the next town. So this station will be... can't remember. I can't remember what this is going to be called. What I can remember is that the next one down, that we will also cover today, is going to be City 17. But the aim is that we'll stick a station in, and it's only going to need one track, because it's only ever going to have one service running into it. So if we put a one-track kind of swanky station in there. Actually, I'm going to make it a terminal as well. Spin it around. There you go. Do you think a 160 will do it? I think a 160 might do it. Let's set it high speed. We'll put something zippy on here. You know what might go on here? The Acela. We might run an Acela on here. I know it's vanilla, but I've rarely used it. And when I have, it has almost never made a profit. That might be worth a go. Anyway, I'm going to bung it in. I'm electrifying from the get-go just because. And then I'm going to lay out a bit of street action. Now, this isn't the one that I'm going to do the grid on. I'm going to do that elsewhere because I want to do it in as a high-speed build because I want to get it right. I want to do a lot of work on ensuring that it looks how I want it to when it's done. But I'm going to plunk a huge city in here and we'll see how that manifests presently. Now, I did a bit of flattening, but then I roughened it up somewhat, again, by blurring in the cliff edges. And, well, we'll see how that comes out. You know, you could have done that so it was continuing the line there. Yeah, okay, I could have. You're not wrong. I will do. I mean, I might as well. If what we're doing here is we're plotting in the initial routes, let's try and at least have a nod towards continuing the line. There you go, that's quite nice. And then, how much space have you got down here? All right, yeah, this lends itself rather towards... You realise you are kind of building a grid here. I am, rather. Well, maybe it ends up being grid-like. Maybe it doesn't. No, keep it that. You're going to do the other one as a crossing kind of deal, kind of thing. Right, and then we'll cross this at right angles. What, like you'd get in a grid? Yes, you're very clever, and all the people say so. Right, bang that in there to give it a little bit of... Oh, we got a bit of a dip. No, that's okay. That's organic. You have a strange use of the word organic, my friend, but I'll allow it. And then I'm going to do a wiggler along the side of the cliff top here to try and encourage some bankers to buy a weekend home with a dramatic view that I can then bulldoze later on. Because, you know, bankers, right? Yeah, bankers, yeah, bankers. Right, okay, so we'll slap this in a bit like that and run it around over there ever so slightly. Keep it on the flat, please. Maybe I'll allow you a little bit of upward incline. Okay, so we should get some build on there. Yeah, it's not grid now, is it? No, you've very much ruined the notion of it being a grid. Congratulations, you must be so pleased. Right, drop that down to flat. Well, I don't know why you just didn't leave this flat if you're just going to sink the roads into the ground, but hey-ho. And then we'll run one up there. No, actually, I want to leave enough room. If we're lucky, we'll get a bit of commercial down the side of the track there, and that'll be quite pleasing. Good. Now, we've got our incoming traffic route from Emerald City and Magic Kingdom and the Minas Tirith. That's the other one. So we want them somewhere to drop off. And I was so taken with this bus station, I'm going to use it again. If I can find space for it. Yeah, you can find space. Just put it in there like that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh my goodness. Oh, haven't we done well? Right. Okay. Yeah, that looks top notch. It might not be completely straight, but it's straight enough for government work. And then we'll bash this out over here. Yeah. Keep it straight though, because straight is great. Yes, but bendy is trendy. Yes. Right. Okay. Yeah. No, good. It's not. I mean, okay, the angles are maybe off just a touch there, but you know, no one's really counting. And then, tell you what, take it all the way to your destination. Turn on bendy roads again. We'll continue around the side of this kind of cliffside we've got going on here, and you can be our power of linkage. Now, what I'll do is I'll let the game build the city in, and then while I'm at my decorating phase, I'll turn some of this into highway so that we've got a clear delineation between the two, and also so that the traffic can move a little bit quicker. Kind of important. Right, last job is going to be continue to extend the goods path. Oh, let's talk about the goods path. the goods path, friends. Now, we've the angle that I've gone for here suggests just bundle it straight through the middle of a mountain. We're not going to do that. We're going to bundle along the edge of this mountain, so I'm going to back it up a touch before doing that. But then I shall bring the passenger line round and we'll quad track it. Now, I would dual track it, but to be honest, if I'm running a slow kilometre-long freight train, we don't want... That's hideous. We don't want it to be slowed... we don't want an Acela or similar to be slowed by old Beefaroo. You can see where I've done a bit of recolorage there. I think it looks quite effective, personally. I'll show you my recolorage system in a moment. It's very easy. It's basic, but you know what? Gets the job done, and it looks properly good. What are we using here? We're using old school track. Good. Okay. Well, in that case, we'll have an old school track, and then we'll have high speed that's electrified right next to it. Yeah. Do we want to keep it lumpy? Keep it lumpy. All right. And then we'll wiggle it around down that way to reach City 17. Now, I was tempted to stick in another additional city as well, but I think actually just 3 on this island will probably do the job. The mainland is where we're going to get most of our excitable passenger action from. But then it becomes a case of, well, exactly how far do we want to extend the stuff that we already have to kind of link up with that? Do you want to do a bit of this? Or do you want a bit of bridge? No, I want to do a bit of this. Because one of the things that I'm trying to do is avoid too many bridges. And when using them, I want to use them as a scenic function as much as a practical one. So you'll see. It'll make sense. Or not. You know, I mean, your mileage is going to vary. Right, let's crowflies this bad boy as far as there. We'll bung some bridges in. And see what it looks like. I think that's my angle. Oh, you know what it looks like? It looks like a flipping champion. That's what it looks like. It does. It really does. The only thing I'd say is that I'd quite like the passenger service to be on the outside. But that feels like a bit of unnecessary jiggery-pokery there to make that work. All right. Listen, Green Bridge... I'm not happy with you, Green Bridges, although that looks absolutely belting. That pillar's longer than I want it. Also, what's this downhill business? If you take it up a level, it's just going to look rotten. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Looks rotten. Yeah, it does. Okay. All right. Well, look, we can change the angle of attack so that bridges and the occasional cheeky tunnel are still a thing. Yeah, okay, all right, that's acceptable. And you are going to need to decrease your height anyway in order to get down to where we're going. All right, okay, all right. Now then, you had promise, but again, the height of the pillars there is a bit too high. Now, I'm going to continue my evaluation here because I might end up accepting this. No, that's wrong. No, that's wrong. That's right. Yeah, that's the one we want. And then we get over here and just do a bit of that. Yeah, maybe. But it's okay. I've got remodelling plans that are coming. This is going to look dreadful. Oh, no, that's not going to look dreadful. That's going to look appalling. Okay, all right, cancel. All right, okay. Well, that's the crowflies test. This is why I do this stuff at high speed, you know, because I want to get something great. And it occurred to me, actually, while kind of considering what it was that I was going to do for this this episode, that the other island, the island we've already, I say completed, but I use the term loosely. Nothing is ever complete in this playthrough. Is that the kind of the connecting routes that we've got going on, there's zero drama to them in the slightest. There's a heck of a lot of underground going on and an awful lot of just undecorated scenery that they're passing through. That's nice. Yeah. Wouldn't you just build an embankment for a bridge that short, though? Let's have a look. Yes, you would. Okay. then we'll have an embankment. Give me that one. Thank you. This one. Yeah, okay. It's going to need a bit of retro work, this one. Or is it? Yeah, it is. Yep, those are too tall. Look, I have standards, but to which I will adhere when possible. And the standards include how high a bridge may be in order for it to pass my my litmus test. Yeah. Okay. All right. Look, bang it in. Here's how we fix it. Now we'll take the old terrain brush. That's too big. Drop the size of it, and then we'll build up the terrain around it, and then smooth it back down after taking the bridge away, and then you put the bridge back in. Yeah, it's time consuming, but you end up with something that looks halfway decent. At least that's in theory it does. This sometimes takes multiple takes to get right. Okay, so if it doesn't work, flipping, your brush strength's too high. All right, yeah, brush strength down a bit, make it a little bit more, organic. That's the one. All right, so now you build up your cliffside edge bit nonsense here to make it so that your bridge supports aren't too tall. Then you have to build up the surrounding area. Now, I find that using the dynamic up brush, you get these peaks turn up, but then if a little bit of gentle, as in not too strong on the brush strength, with the smoothing gun, will make it all right. Drop the size of that just a touch, and then all right this, please. There you go. Yeah. I don't think you've actually raised the height very much there, though. Give it a moment. It'll be right. Don't you worry. Don't you fret about things. Don't you forget about me. Whoa. Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Craggy. I like it. And then we bash this across there like so, and then we stick in that, and then you kind of go, the pillars are now a sensible length. You are, however, going uphill. There you go. That's got it. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not great, but it's pretty good. It's certainly good enough. Yeah, and then straighten it up. Just because we'll skim the edge of the next one, and that'll come out like a blinder. Okay, right. So there you go. That needs to be run down to far end. So I'll continue to I'll skirt the edge, probably around the edge of there, and then continue going down. This landscape all needs kind of healing a little bit. I think I might put another city. I think we probably want another city about there. So I'm gonna somewhat crowflies the freight line. So what I'll do is I'll bring the passenger line down in parallel with the freight line, and then when the freight line continues down, we'll skirt the passenger line off to go through a station here at Town B, and then head down to here, which is City 17. Now, I've already done some pre-marking, and this is just so that I don't forget it exists. This is where the canal's going to be. So I'm going to need to flatten the terrain here down to be portside. I haven't decided yet, but I probably will have a port on both sides. Yeah, which will be pretty dramatic. And then I think it's going to be shunting that gets the job done as we head into some kind of freight interchange, which will probably be around this area, possibly. Haven't quite decided yet, he says, drawing a nice circle. Good. Right, I'm going to get some of that done, and then we'll plunk in some towns. Yeah, so I'll just flatten out some ground, build a couple of towns, put in a bit of track. How long did it possibly take? Well, the rest of the day is how long it took, so we're back the following day. You obviously are completely oblivious to this because it's all happening within the space of 30 seconds. Let's just get that bit sorted out. There you go. Yeah, so what we have here is Hill Valley. Hill Valley Station. Now, there's a little bus depot, bus station, that my farming folk will be able to get to civilization by heading out to the bus station there. And then we swing around. Now, this is not I put it straight up front. This is not an efficient piece of track, this one, but it's more efficient than it could have been. I'll tell you that for nothing. So we come motoring out of the station. Nice bit of tunnel entrance there, and then we swing around, and in a piece of track laying that I am quite pleased with, we run in parallel with the freight line. Isn't it lovely? Look at that, beautiful. Very, 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 very easy to do. Basically, take your existing 2 lines, put a third line down the side of it, build your second one, take the third line back out. Bosh. Everything lines up. You don't end up with flipping bridge clipping all over the place and that kind of business. Now, I've switched the passenger line over onto this concrete bridge instead of this girder job because it's got a higher speed limit. But then we keep coming round this way, like so, keep going around the mountainside. I mean, the views, friends, are going to be just tremendous. And then the passenger line peels off. Now, you might go, well, that seems quite ridiculous, because what I could have done here is I could have put the station in like there and then just run through the mountains and ended up over here. No, where's the attraction in that? Where's the beauty? But we swing round here into Arakeen, where we'll have another big city going on there. I've put in a bus station. Now, it doesn't have anywhere to go for the moment, but it will do. Oh, no, I can reliably inform you that it definitely will have somewhere to go. That will occupy the commuting service around the town. Actually, before I move on, I'm just going to do a quick tweak on this, because that needs a side... And what's that? That's a roof. Right, okay, yeah, go on. Bang that in there. Please connect. There you go. Good. And here as well. All right, well, okay, that one didn't connect. But hey, double entrance for those of you who want to turn up on foot. And then we swing back down again. Now, this is where things get lively, because we reach the edge of the world here. This is going to be City 17 that lives around here, and we'll have one set of docks on this side and another set of docks on that side. Don't know why, we just will. I've done a bit of landscape reshapery just to make life interesting. Now, originally, I had the passenger station here. I had up on a lump on this end, but it was far, far, far too low down. It was probably, let's have a look, probably about that level, right, compared to where it actually is, and could not get down from Arakeen fast enough. And I was going, do I really want to put a helix on a passenger line? They are rather reliant on actually turning a profit and doing that quite quickly. So, yeah, so I opted to build a separate lump. Now, the plan with this is that these are at a height that will allow me to build a majestic girder-based extensive span bridge. I'm going to probably download the 4th rail bridge off the workshop and use that. And I'll just wang it across here, and I'll build up the land on this side accordingly while leaving enough space for the docks. It's going to look ruddy brilliant. Oh, no, I assure you it's brilliant. And I won't even build it off camera either. We'll build that one together because it's not going to go easy. So they're not going to merge together. It will be 2 rail bridges going over the top of the port underneath. Now, I can foresee a problem with the port underneath already. Yeah. If we bring up we'll have covered this before, friends, but we're covering it again now. If we up the brush size, it makes it easy to see. This is your usual smidgy brush, which we don't want. The square brush, when you use it, shows the grid on which everything is built. Right. Now you might go, yeah, what's the problem with that? The problem is that that any ships you use, they only ever want to sail the grid. So they only want to travel from flat edge to flat edge. They don't do diagonals. So they tack between flat edge and flat edge, which is no use at all running through this. Hold everything. Hold everything. All right, the thought that has just entered my mind here is why don't you just build your canal up that follows the grid, adjust the land accordingly, and then the ships will sail through that perfectly. You might just have some jiggery-pokery to do with your stations, with your track connections, to get it to go over the span. Yeah, progress. Now, given that quite a lot of these ships are going to be docking here, it's possibly not as essential that they move in a consistent fashion. But the other part of me says, flipping is, it's very, very important they move in a consistent fashion. We don't want boats tacking through the canal. You know what? I'm going to leave it as is. We'll build it up, and if the boats are doing it stupidly, I'll rebuild it. Right, city time. Just to round off today's adventures, we're going huge across the board. Yeah. Right, okay. Brace yourselves. Hold on. Wait. No, continue bracing yourself. You sure? You don't want to put a cheeky road bridge in here so that they can get the other side as well? Yeah, I probably do. All right, well, get on with it then. Yeah. Even if it's a cheeky round the top, level crossing for now, bit over here, just so that you know what? No, stuff it. If it decides to go, it'll go. Bung that in here like this. Now, fire. Yeah, it's just stayed on this side. Okay, that's all right. It might build up over time, but we'll see how it goes. Walton on the nays. No. There you go. Right. You want goods and fuel. Well, that's jolly exciting for you. Oh, they've built around my little majestic curve, which I was rather hoping they would. Okay, that's fun, interesting. Obviously, anytime I place a new town in, it's going to need a bit of redevelopment to get the roads working in a way. This apparently is part of City 17 as well. It's built up here. Wow, that's miles away. Yeah. Well, they should get used to it as a concept, because I'm building another one here. It's going to sit right there. Go on. Yeah, now, I mean, we're not messing about. I'm going straight for huge here, because this is going to fuel a lot of energy into growth generally. How's we looking here? Okay, well, this is a bit ugh. We might have to, yeah, all of this is a bit ugh. We might have to do a bit of work on that, but that's okay. We can live with it. And you want bricks and tools. Yeah. All right. Well, we can make it happen. This is Arakeen. Okay. Yeah. Marvelous. And then our last one to do here is Hill Valley. This should lay out in a far more easygoing kind of a way. Where do we want it? Oh, about here will do, because that way you get suburbs heading towards the farmland. Oh yeah. Oh, that's come out quite nicely. Harpenden? No. Oh, it's very nice. Now, I've got to go easy with the old gargantuan city tool, because otherwise I'm going to kill my frame rate before we've got halfway done with this. So I think I'll allow myself one more vast city. No, two more. One on the other island and one on the mainland, and then everything else can be mediums and larges. All right, that's come up super. And what we'll find is that we're going to generate quite a lot of growth in all of this stuff simply by having this town connection going on. But before then, we will run our little commuter shuttle. I'm going to want a stop on the way, I think. Well, it's not a commuter shuttle. It's a town to town. It's an intercity, effectively. Yeah, all right. Well, whatever you want to call it, it is one. So if we were to go about here, that feels pretty good. We could go one further and put one over here. Yeah, that's nice. Right, that'll do it. And then it's because it's supposed to be just a point-to-point service, because we end up down here in industrial wasteland central, but it distributes the passengers afterwards. Right, give me this new line, and this is going from Emerald City. All right, it helps if we actually bring up the change the name tool, I suppose. Emerald City to HV and Intercity. All right, okay, great. Yeah, 2-letter city names. It's not going to end well. Now, I left a whatnot round here somewhere. Depot, that's the fella. I parked it out in the middle of nowhere, down in the bottom of the Magic Kingdom. Here we go. Right, buy vehicles. I think 5. 5 will probably do the trick. Let's go 6. I'm going to use a Greyhound for this. Yeah, that'll probably do the trick. That'll probably do the trick. Let's go with one of those 6 times and deploy that onto the Intercity, please. There you go. You should have gone cha-ching as you all set off merrily. Evidently, that was not the case. Go. Okay, what's your problem? There is just the slimmest of possibilities I didn't actually set the route. That's the thing people do. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's, I mean, it might be old-fashioned, but that doesn't mean to say that we shouldn't do it anyway. Right, add the old cities there. Here we go. All right, from Emerald, we trundle out this way. We go through the jolly farmland. Oh, isn't it jolly? We take a trip via Queen's Road. We then go up George Street. We then go to our stop at the other end. We then come back again, and everything is easy peasy. In fact, this is probably the simplest bus route I have done in quite some time. Good. Now, that should have all my buses deploying. Where did I leave them again? Oh, there they go. Look. Right. Okay, let's pile on. Because that's your lot for today. Right. Good. Smashing. Let's follow this chap in a pickup truck who I'm sure is up to no good. Right. So, not yet ready to run trains. I could put passenger trains on the island line. Nice. Yeah, but you've got multiple islands, and this is the one that is least like an island. So I'm not going to, no, but I'm not going to do it yet, not until we've got the mainland connection as well, because that's really going to add, not only distance, which means that we'll get longer and more interesting to look at lines going on, but also the passengers being brought in will really fuel a bit of growth and explosiveness. That's explosiveness, friends. Right, so next time around, what are we going to cover? Well, we're going to build the port. Crikey, do you want to go up on the curb a bit more there, son? And we probably will build the next town over on the mainland. And then the episode after that, we'll do some more with a bit of stuff on the main. Crikey! This is the most dubious tunnel I've ever come across. I mean, it's quite smooth, but it's quite... I don't think I've ever seen a tunnel do this steep up the side of a hill. I mean, you'll get a bit of steep going in and out of a tunnel that's going under something, but that one's just going through a hillside. Remarkable. Look at this. Look, bit of high detailing going on there. Lovely. Yeah, ain't she a beauty? And nothing here is real. I placed all of this stuff, all of it, the works, the lot, which is why it's still a little bit barren, because it hasn't packed out at all. But as we get these little villages building up a bit, there's ever such a slim chance that they start to build up a smidge. We're going to run this dude over, or are we going to wait at the traffic lights? We're waiting at the traffic lights. I've been Colonel Failure. Thanks very much for tuning in. I'm quite enjoying the pace of this series. It allows a little bit of tinkering and jiggery-pokery in between bringing you up to speed. Don't mow them down. I know you're a bus driver and therefore you rule the road, but that's hardly the point. Thanks very much for watching. Cheerio. Three times I reworked that piece of track. Took hours, it did, to get it how I wanted it. And I'm still not thrilled with it. The direct line that I indicated there might well work better. But I really want the shot of the two trains running side by side, ideally with loads of them running, up and down here and there and this and that and all of this kind of business. So yeah, it should look pretty good, and it should look quite profitable. I'm hoping that these two rail lines are the ones to carry the can for all of this unprofitable business that I'm running. And there's absolutely no guarantee of that happening. Now, I mean, remember from the outset, got to be able to pay for it all. So at some point, I'm going to have to make some stuff that makes money, because right now, none of it makes money. It will. I've got absolute faith in it doing so. I won't turn off no costs until such a time as I'm going, it's now making enough money that I can fund future expansion. But the whole point of the series is to have no curtailed expansion going on, which allows me to crack through this at an absolute belter of a rate. Anytime. Well, next time we're on to the third episode for this second island, and that means it's the mainland connection. We are on target. This is good. I'm not entirely sure which city it is. It might be no, it's not Atlantis. There we go. Back up. It might be Rapture. But I think Rapture might actually be one further along. So we'll see. I'll refer back to previous works and make that all happen. Yes.